seconds, Ash. Good evening, everybody. It is Monday night. It is round number 8 of our. See, Ash is putting his hand in front of the camera. He's just giving the driver's briefing to the Bravo tier. But it's round number 8 of our GT3 Sprint Series. I can't believe that we've already got to the 8th week. And this is it. And tonight we essentially are going to be crowning 2 champions, one in the Alpha tier and one in the Bravo tier. Things are extremely close. There are 5 drivers in the Bravo tier that are able to put themselves on a podium and go into that lucky draw. We understand that COVID restrictions have stopped the F400 karting series. The race that we did have this coming weekend has been postponed, so we'll definitely keep everybody up to date in terms of what's happening on the 26th of July, which is when we are supposed to have our 3 drivers from SARCO essentially joining them. Ash, it looks like the guys were in high spirits during the driver's briefing. How are you this evening?
I'm great, thanks Dylan, and yeah, looking forward to another nice evening racing and the last one of this particular season, and I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to see some good close racing this evening.
So we're at Imola, my favorite track, and I mentioned in the Discord this morning is that I don't always get a good result, even though I really enjoyed this track. I just hope that I'm able to convert some points. So a little bit later on, guys, we will have Stephen and Sarge joining us for the commentary for the Alpha tier. But I think that the guys are ready. I see some of those thumbs are going up. It looks like 18 drivers, so we've got a full house there.
We do have a full house. Some new drivers joining us, and we have told them just to be on the lookout for the drivers. It is the final race of the championship, and obviously we don't want them to get in the way of the drivers fighting for the last bits of points.
So 100%, I guess that they're waiting for my thumb to go up, and once the thumb goes up for the a broadcaster, is we will go into the 2-minute warning. And then remember, guys, it is a cold start, is that there's no qualifying. The guys go straight into it.
Let's get ready to go.
20 minutes, and man, oh man, my heart's actually pounding. Just having a look at the stream, what's come up is we've got Brandon DeSantos. He's got first dibs on the racing this evening. He was there, as well as Marius. Saying good luck to all those drivers, and good luck to everybody indeed. I see that we have gone in, so we're able to just cut across to the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo E. Dino Ferrari Imola. Try to say that once you've had 1 or 2 Jägermeisters.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to pronounce that, because I think I'll get lost after halfway through the second word there. But yeah, one of my favorite tracks too. Played around here with the McLaren and seems to have a nice bit of pace. Not as quick as the other cars I saw. The Ferrari around here seems very strong, as well as the Porsche. So look out for Mr. Peter Brunt in that Ferrari, as well as Marius in that Lamborghini that he'll be racing in the Bravo tier this evening.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have 17 corners going around the Imola circuit. The first corner is kind of like a little kink, which then goes into the Tamburello chicane, followed by another chicane at Variante Villeneuve, which is essentially corner 5 and 6. We've got Tossa, which is a hairpin down at the bottom, which then goes back up the hill into a Piratella, back down the hill through the Aqua Minerale. And lots of guys running wide there through the turn, and number 10 coming back up the hill, then back into the chicane altar in through 11 and 12, then back down the hill to the 2 corners in Ravaza, which then goes through 2 double kinks before we cross that start finish line once again. So we are just waiting for the start to come up. All those drivers are there. We're waiting for the sync. We can hear the guys are now revving, and it is a green light, and away we go. And we see a little guy moving off to the side there. I think that's probably one of the newcomers. We will have to just check what happens further down. But we've got Dane, who's out in front, followed by Adrian Bond. And Stephen in that Porsche, he's in third place, followed by Duncan in fourth place as they make their way through. Nerdmaster, he's in fifth in the Ferrari, so really looking strong for a good result there. Rudy in sixth place in that BMW. We're going to see that car coming up strong, especially when we start getting onto the start-finish straight. Then we've got Yolan in eighth place. Sorry, I did miss out one of our, dare I say, veteran racers, Colin. I'm sure that you'll have something to say to me after that. In that Acura, so I'll be very interested to see how that performs. But Dane in that Lamborghini, he's out in front and starting to open up a little gap between himself and the second place Adrian Bond.
Yeah, we see Adrian Bond just going slightly wide there, but he's got a lot of pressure from behind there. Stephen, who's right on his tail, followed by Duncan, doing really well, getting a good start there. And those two Porsches pressurizing Mr. Bond there. And I won't be surprised if we see overtake attempt very shortly.
So while we were just getting our ducks in a row, as Stephen has a look to the inside on the brakes there, and it looks like he... little touch there between Stephen and Cutting Beef. So Stephen knocked off there. And will Adrian be able to get back? So Adrian is in fourth place and Rudy in third. So unfortunately it looks like the two drivers did have a little contact there going down into Rivazza.
Yeah, and I'm so disappointed that I cut away there. I was just looking at the battle further back, and we just missed that action. But looks like the loser of that battle was Stephen, and now he's getting pressure from Colin in that Acura, so he may have picked up damage there, and he's got his work cut out for him this evening.
Yeah, he's definitely going to need to start trying to get that car up. But with that downforce in the front, you can see that front bumper did take a little bit of damage. He is definitely going to battle to get that straight line speed where it's needed. As I was saying, that Duncan just did jump into the chat as we were getting our ducks in a row to get the stream up and running. And he did share some pictures of his new wheel that he's got. And you can have a look to the inside. That's very close there between Duncan and Dane. But Dane's going to now hold that place going through Acqua Minerale. You can't really go around the outside. There's just not enough space there. But it does seem like Dane is struggling to try and keep these guys behind him. And it looks like Rudy's going to be able to come through on the inside. No, he decides to rather just jumping behind him, going through Variante Alta. But we now have Duncan, our British international, who now gets himself out in front. Now heading down towards turn number 13.
Yeah, Duncan did speak about moving over to the steering wheel. He hasn't quite done that yet.
Whoa.
He still felt a bit alien compared to what he was been using, which is the controller. And he seems to be pretty fit on that controller, as you can see now into first position and starting to open up a gap already.
So just looking at all these names, a lot of drivers there that we do not know. I know that Amarius is very well in this championship. He's down in 12th place, so he's going to have to find himself moving himself up. But just look how congested it is down in the battle for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th as they go into the braking markers here for Tamburello chicane. And it looks like Amarius is being able to get himself higher up. 10th place there for him. But he does have Dradkar, who's joined us last week. And just ahead of there is Peter Brunt. He's in 8th place, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be hoping to make a comeback later on in this race.
Yeah, Peter Brunt did see him in practicing doing blistering times. Actually, quicker than some of the top Alpha tier drivers. So he has plenty of pace in that Ferrari this evening. and also Marius in that Lamborghini. You can see those two getting through the field. They both started right at the back of this field and ready now halfway through the field with 14 and almost 15 minutes left to go. So I think a good battle we'll see later on. Oh, we see somebody in front there. I think it was SA Repo. Looked like he got a bit of a bump from behind, but seems to have held on to that car and he's going pretty well at the moment in 6th position.
So that is James in the Audi who gave him a little bit of a bump. It just looked like he outbraked himself there going down the hill. But I know that this Audi is quite quick along the straight. But it is the BMW which I'm sure will actually make very easy work of Colin, who's currently in 5th place. Great position there for him. And you can just see how close that BMW
well, that
is
should
getting.
give you a little bit of confidence this evening, Dylan. Although he's not the quickest car on the circuit, but we know it's very quick in the corners. So and there are plenty of corners around this track.
The place where the Honda is really, really good is definitely going into where the guys are going now, turns 5 and 6. The car rotates so nicely through these. You can see Rudy just losing the rear where Colin was able to get that nose turned in, got on the power, and it pulled through. And then actually going down the hill through turn 13 into Ravazza is in a little practice. I caught Brandon Hills out. The Audi was quite sluggish on the brakes, and I managed to sneak one up on the inside on him. He didn't even see it coming.
Well, absolutely. You can see how that Kira has just pulled away now through this tight section. So that's probably where you're going to have to dominate this evening and get your advantage.
It does look like, I was going to say, it does look like cutting. Oh, there's PB running a little bit wide in 7th place, which is going to allow Marius to go ahead. But we know that Peter Brunt, he's doing this just for the fun of it. Is that he has just about wrapped up this championship. No one is able to catch him. So I wonder if that was just a little bit of team orders. PB saying to Marius, just have a go, and I'll follow you around. Yeah,
I'm not sure about that because Peter Bright is a full-on racer. He's definitely not letting anybody pass that easily. I think it was just a little bit of a mistake there, and probably just looking in his mirrors or avoiding someone, and unfortunately went off there. But if you look at those times there, those guys, 148, 146 by Cutting Beef out in front, but we know he's got a clear track, and so it's going to make things a little bit easier for him. He can simply just cruise around here. Already opening up that gap now to 3.5 seconds as Rudy now down into 2nd position. Adrian Bond looks like he's recovered well, now into 3rd. Dane in 4th in that very quick Lamborghini. And then we have this stream of cars behind Colin of James and Marius and Peter
Brunt. Then that's SA, that is Yoland driving for Synergy Racing. I'm not too sure who that is in 10th place. Oh, that's Drodkar. ND is Nidmaster. The BAL, if you can just jump onto BAL for us. I just want to see who that is, just so we can see his name.
That's Mr. Ball Baggins.
Ball Baggins, awesome.
Or Ball Baggins from America. He's coming to join us this evening.
See, driving in a McLaren. I wonder whether Terry Wolford had anything to do with the choice of the car that he has there.
Yeah, I think so. These guys made buddies pretty quickly earlier, and I think he joined. He invited him along to come and join us.
So the thing that I'm just curious about is down in 15th place. That is Louis. Now Louis is currently 2nd on the championship, and he only has a 16-point advantage over Marius and Adrian, who are both tied. So currently, as they are sitting, is that Louis won't be getting too many points, but Marius and Adrian will be able to close some points, which means that we'll be going down to the final race, and any one of those 3 drivers could be the next person up to go and represent the SARCO / Deliver Your Parcel Invitational team at the 26th of July F400 karting race.
And that is one of the experiences that you have to get involved in, especially the endurance races. One of the toughest races that I certainly have participated in, and by far the best.
So having a look at some of the lap times, Colin in 4th place, and right behind him is James, Peter Brunt, Marius, then Yolan. As James runs very wide, you just need to be careful coming back. So you can see that Peter Brunt and Marius have both pounced on that. It looks like they're going to be too wide. James rather just let go of that place.
Ooh.
And there's Yolan in the background there, just not able to get that power down and get that BMW going in a straight line, which is going to allow Dane to go and put some pressure on. Looked very close on the braking markers there was Marius on the back of that Ferrari. So one thing I have noticed, Ashley, is that while we've got Duncan out in front, that gap between himself and Rudy is starting to close down a little bit. I know they're on the start-finish line, but as they start going through the twisty things, that is where Rudy seems to just be closing that gap a little bit. So we might still have a change in the lead later on. But with only 8.5 minutes left to go, the guys are going to need to keep their heads down, and that's the problem with the BMW. You can just see trying to get that power down, and their car just oversteers.
Yeah, I think also for cutting B for Duncan, he's could be also wearing those tires down. You know, he's been pushing the first couple of laps, although he was only a tenth slow on the last lap. You know, if Rudy can pull a good couple of laps together, yeah, I'm sure we'll have a good nail-biting finish towards the end of the race.
So I do see that Louis starting to move himself up, and Peter Brunt basically forcing a gap through Colin and just opening up the way there for Marius. So very aggressive move there, and it looks like Marius had a bit of a slowdown, running a little bit wide there on the exit up through the Aqua Minerale, and now unfortunately dropping back, and Colin now taking that place back in 5th place. But now we just know how quick this Lamborghini is on the straight, but you'll just see how nicely this car will rotate through here, and Colin should be able to get himself a little bit of a gap on the exit, but it's all about the straight line speed.
Yeah, you can just see that Lamborghini just winding up and putting that power down. Now he's got a slipstream just to make things a little bit easier. Takes the inside line and streams just basically flies past Colin there and moves himself up into 5th position.
And in 7th place is James. He's going to be looking to get himself ahead of the Acura. As you can see that Colin on the brakes there, the rear just stepped out ever so slightly, and he had to counteract there. Let's look to the inside, not close enough for that move through turn number 7. But now going back up the hill towards Piratella. This is where we're able to get a good exit down the hill. You're able to just set yourself up right up behind the driver.
Yeah, nice tight down there by Colin. Goes slightly onto the curb there, and that's going to upset the car. You can see just battling to get it back on the track again, and that's allowed James to get past. And Colin seems to be battling with that car now. I think the tyres are not lasting as he would have expected, and not finding the grip like he wants.
So we do know that the track temperature on this track is quite high. It is around about 50 degrees when we go into the next heat, into the I'd say the darker race. The tires do hold on just a little bit better, but that is definitely the same characteristics I've felt as this championship has gone on. So that gap between our race leader Duncan and Rudy Base, that definitely has increased. So it looks like Duncan, that Porsche has been able to open up a substantial gap. Just want to see when Rudy gets that power on. Yeah, that car definitely not looking very comfortable there at all.
Oh, that gap increases and then gets a little bit smaller again. But looks like that gap has sort of maintained itself. Now I'm moving up to 3 seconds. And I'm just looking at Mr. Bondier in third position. Had a bit of an unfortunate come together with Steven in the first couple of laps, but has managed to move himself back into third position. And now just cruising around. Got a nice little lead. A nice little gap between himself and Peter Brandt, who's in fourth position at the moment. And I'm just trying to see if I can see. There's Peter Brandt in the background. So Peter Brandt will be seeing Adrian and chasing down that last podium position. Will we see a nail-biting finish between these two drivers right at the end? 3.5 minutes left on the clock. I think it's going to come down to the wire.
So I think
just looking at the lap times now.
Yeah, I think 3.5 seconds is pretty safe at this stage, but provided that there is no problem.
Well, yeah, we've seen anything can happen in this race. I mean, that last lap he was basically 2 seconds quicker than Mr. Bond there in third position. And I'm just watching the times now.
So Ash, I just wanted to know, do you have access to the points sheet? Because I've tried to go in there, but unfortunately it's not giving me that. Just so we can update the points and just get a sense of what the guys would
I did post it on the Discord earlier, but
no, I'm saying to capture the top 6 for this race.
Right.
Or to capture the points for this race, just so that we know for the last heat what we're dealing with. I realize that you're controlling the camera, so that's not really going to help.
No. Well, hopefully our admin team would be on the case already. I'm sure that Sarge is probably been added already.
So Sarge, if you are there and you are watching, just give us a little confirmation to say that you've got the points, just that we know who the top 3 are for this evening. As well as needing to be able to just get those points ready so that we know who's won those championships and we know who will be going into the lucky draw for the 3 places that will be chosen for that race on the 26th, and that is obviously COVID restrictions permitting. So we have got 1 minute 47 to go, and it looks like this might just be the last lap. It all depends on if Duncan is able to go faster than a 1:48. And just looking at the lap times, you can just see how loose that BMW is on that exit. The average time around about 1:47.1. We are expecting like 1:46 to high 1:45s in the Alpha tier. So it is going to be extremely interesting. I see Louis has moved himself up into 10th place, so he will be able to score himself a few points there. He's still going to be very, very close at the end to see who the top 3 are. And there's Louis now going past, so he is effectively in 8th position now.
Yeah, so not too far from. Just want to see the gap between himself and Colin. There's still a bit of a gap there, so you won't be able to get up any closer to that 6th position.
But look at that position, Duncan versus Rudy. That's come down to nearly 1.5 seconds.
So I wonder if Duncan was looking at a time and maybe just tried to shorten the race a bit.
So will he cross the line? We've got 1 second left. So
He
that
does.
is the end of the race. So no more racing now. That is the end of heat number 1. So Adrian comes home in a 3rd place. A great drive there for him. Even though there was a little bump there on the first lap. Peter Brunt in... Ooh.
Interesting.
No, that right there was team orders, and I'm telling you now,
think so.
those 2 oaks need to get a fine for that. Oh man, that is absolutely crazy. But listen, we understand that there are teams. We understand. So, in all honesty, we actually can't fault the guys, man.
No, but also give Peter Brandt a little bit more of an advantage for the next race. I mean, you'll be starting in 2nd position. Colin comes home in 8th position there, followed by a Draht car and international racer who's joined us this evening down in 10th position. In 11th we have Mr. Silverback himself. Sorry, it was Steven in 11th and Silverback in 12th.
Yeah,
Lidmaster finishes in 13th.
We didn't see much of Raf that race. And then Dane having an almighty battle with Turbo there. But that's Lamborghini in a straight line. You'll have the inside line, so you should cross the line.
Oh, that was very close.
I didn't see that. Who got it?
I think it was Dane who got it.
It was Dane indeed. By 0, what's that, 039.
Well, I think also Andres, I think his name is in 15th, had a penalty, so that wouldn't have helped him either.
So guys, just having a look at some of the comments that are coming through. We've got Terry Wolford saying, mad beef, go dunk. Jared Ray, he's joined us to say, nice to see the lads are active during this time. Jared, how's it? We normally see Jared at the karting, and now we get to see him online. So awesome that you've come to say, how's it? Morris Bortma is saying, well done Duncan, Adrian, and Rudy. So really looking forward to seeing what happens. Now we're going to have Peter Brunt out in front. Will he be able to run away? Ash, the question is, who do you put your money on now, knowing that Peter Brunt's going to be starting in 2nd place?
Sorry, Dylan, I didn't catch that. You kind of froze for a second or two there, and I didn't get your question.
So now that we've got the reverse grid, you're going to put your money on for this next race.
Oh, definitely Peter Bright. I mean, he's just super quick in that Ferrari. In 2nd place, I think we'll see Marius. And it's between Cutting Beef and perhaps Louis. Louis might get a better start this round and work his way up in the field.
We're going to have to create a party.
So I stand in front of a red car. It's either turbo or...
So guys, you just heard in the background they are just going to be getting a chat party ready so that we could go racing once again. And the only reason is for some reason when we go to the 2nd race, the guys aren't able to hear each other, and it's just during the formation lap, the driver out in front just controls the pace, and then just gives everybody the signal to go racing once he crosses the start finish line. So some predictions coming through. Brandon De Santos saying he thinks that PB will take it, and Louis on the podium. So yes, I must agree with you. I think Louis did have a bad start, and he should have the pace to work himself up through the field. So Brandon, great prediction there. Look, I was actually quite impressed with Adrian's speed, so I reckon he could possibly get himself on the podium once again. And I just want to see Steven in that Porsche, is that he definitely has the pace. We've seen the Porsche out in front. It is really, really quick. And man, oh man, Stephen has had an absolute torrid season. Just not able to convert some of these starts. So guys, if you have just joined the stream, you've just missed the first heat. We're now going into the second heat of the Bravo tier. There will be one more race now for the Bravo, then we move over into the Alpha tier, where myself and Ashley will be behind the steering wheels once again. And I'm just hoping that I'm able to get myself onto the first 10 out of the 7 races. I've only had 2 starts on the first page, so I'm hoping for a better result there. And I just know that the little Acura that I will be driving is not as quick in the straight line, but there are a few places I can put a little surprise on the brakes. So there we go. We've been given the starting orders. So guys, just remember the start now is just for the guys to get themselves into the correct positions. Just remember the top 6 are a reverse grid, which means that we'll have James, who will be leading the pack, followed by Peter Brunt in second, Marius in third place, Adrian Bond in fourth, with Rudy in fifth. Then Cutting Beef Duncan, he will be in 6th place, and then from 7 down, that's where the guys will continue. So Ashley, I'm just checking that you're still with me, because for some reason I don't get to hear your voice anymore.
Oh, sorry, gentlemen, I just had you on mute there. I was busy explaining to the drivers the procedures. Just making sure that everybody can hear me and get into the correct positions. Can you hear me?
I can, yes. So guys, while we are waiting for the start of the second heat, we will still need to do a formation lap. We can just have a quick view from our sponsor.
Okay. Oh, drive-through penalty for Nidmaster there. Unfortunate.
Are you sure that it's a drive-through? Does it come up on your screen to say that he's got a drive-through?
I did see a drive-through penalty for him.
It's not showing here.
Yeah, it was on the race feed.
Ah, I see. That is really unfortunate, and just sometimes that happens. The guys forget that it is just a formation lap first up. So we see James is currently in the correct position, followed by Peter Brunt, as well as Marius Jacobs. Yolan down in, you can just see that he's just getting on the power, and that BMW is not happy getting the power down. So there's Colin. I must say he really had a great drive, holding on to 4th place for quite a bit, and unfortunately was just swamped later on in the race. But yes, it does leave me with some really good confidence, knowing that Acura is able to compete up there. So James will now lead the pack down the hill. They'll now start heading towards turn number 13. This guy's making the final position changes. So then I'll be going into the last corner. Now you'll see that all line up in a single file. Raf will keep them at approximately 100 kilometers an hour. Then he will make that call as he approaches that start finish line. There's that start finish line you can see ahead of us. And we are racing heat number 2 here in the Brabant here, and everybody is away cleanly.
Sure, I see Peter Brandt got very, very close to the back of James there. But a very good start for those three guys out in front there.
I think Peter Brandt must just be a little bit cautious. Don't try and make too many mistakes. As there's Adrian Bond in the background there, he's starting to drop down. I think he might have gone a little bit too hot into the corner and just carried a little bit of too much speed, and then unfortunately down in 8th place. We do see Stephen in that Porsche. He managed to get himself further up as James runs a little bit wide going into turn number 8. Now down the hill, he was just a little bit offline there. He'll just have to hug the inside of 9 and 10. Now back up the hill, it is getting a little bit of lag, but you did see that he had gone a little bit too deep there. So possibilities of a slowdown penalty there for him.
Yeah, just causing a bit of a trade effect here, but she's quite nice to see. He's holding up the guys behind him, making that Audi as wide as possible. And I'm just looking at the back, we've got Louis already out in 6th position at the moment, challenging Cutting Beef, which is Duncan. But we'll see them come down the straight now, and we'll see which car has the legs down.
I wouldn't be surprised if that Lamborghini is able to get ahead of that Ferrari. But it does look like Peter Brandt is a little bit cautious on that exit. Doesn't want to get too close. And we have seen it before where sometimes the guys' cars just jump around a little bit. Peter Brandt having a little look to the inside of turn number 2. He is putting a lot of pressure on the back of that Audi. But we know that James is a real-world racer, so he will be able to absorb this pressure. Can Peter Brandt go around the outside here as he exits out of turn number 6, now into turn number 7. And James definitely keeping the pack very, very close up here, because you can see that that's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, down to a 7th place. So this is, if you want close, tight racing, this is exactly what the guys would be getting. You can see them now coming down the hill towards Acro Minerali. Peter Brandt just looking for that opportunity. Looks like he might get a run on the inside as he now has a show to the inside on the brakes. Just going to go side by side. James sees him coming, but now he'll be on the inside. A little bit of a touch, but no damage done. It looks like Marius is now right behind him. And is he going to be able to push him past? So now you're going to have 4 cars going down the hill towards turn number 14. It's not really going to work. Peter Brandt's out in front. A 3 wide now, and that is Cutting Beef who's been able to squeeze himself through. It looked like Rudy got a little nudge there from Stephen as he exited out of Rivaza.
Yeah, it was going to end up in tears either or. But fortunately we didn't see anybody go off. The only loser really were there was Rudy, but then Rudy, Louis and Stephen collide, and unfortunately that's going to cause a bit of hard feelings, I guess, between those guys. Most unfortunate.
And I think they got such a good drive, the three of them. And Louis and Stephen were side by side. Possibly didn't know that he was so close. Stephen tried to get himself back onto the road. And just that touch basically created that concertina effect. And
well, we saw that in the Formula One as well with the Williams and the Mercedes drivers coming together on the very same kink on their straight. So it's definitely not a place where you want to overtake because you kind of get blindsided. Well, the guy slightly ahead doesn't really notice the guy on the side coming through that straight there. So and that's exactly what happens is they touch and they'll go off into the barriers. Oh, there we see there was cutting beef.
Duncan.
That was Duncan.
Just losing that rear there as he got into the brakes, and it looked like he was just helped around there by Marius. But out in front, Peter Brunt starting to open up a gap there. Oh, and just looking at the lap time, so Peter Brunt 150.0, and the fastest is currently a 149.3, and that's by Adrian Bond, the man in picture, who has got Duncan all over the back of him.
Yeah, we saw him earlier making a mistake on the first lap and doing well. A good recovery now into 4th position. So this is actually a good track for him this evening because he finished down in 3rd on the previous race. But fighting Duncan there for that 4th position. Duncan making it very difficult. Applying every single pressure that he can think of. Ooh, and he's got past there.
Duncan
good move there.
Sneaking up on the inside, but now he's going to run wide. That's going to be a little slowdown penalty. So it looks like Adrian will be able to sneak up on the inside here as they go into turn number 7. Now back up the hill. They're going to be side by side. How on earth did that Porsche carry the speed around the outside there? I'm definitely going to need to try that a little bit later on. But now will they go side by side through turn 8? Just about. But it's the Porsche now who's got the advantage now going down the hill. But now through Aqua Minerale, will Adrian have a better entry? It does slow him down ever so slightly. But now it should be a plain sailing now for Duncan ahead, because we just know how fast that car is in a straight line. Just looking back further down is we've got Colin in 6th place. He's got Dane behind him, followed by Yolan in 8th. And then, what's it, what do you say? Ball bags.
Ball Baggins. Mr. Ball Baggins. Just think of the Hobbit.
So, actually, we've only got 10 minutes left of this race. So we've got basically 5 laps, and that's the end. And you can see Peter Brunt out in front, 146.7. And that is alpha tier pace right there. And we do know that in terms of the alpha pace, that Peter Brunt, when we had the qualifier, missed out by 0.018 of a second to make it into that alpha tier. So definitely is alpha tier quality. In 2nd place is James. He's doing very well there in 2nd, and followed by Marius. And I'm just feeling so sorry there for Louis. He looked like he might have been able to hang on to some of those points there and get himself that final podium. But now with him having to come together with Stephen, unfortunately that's all she wrote.
Yeah, that's most unfortunate. But it's been a excellent season here by Peter Brunt. I mean, he's been unstoppable this whole season, very consistent. He's been very quick in that Ferrari, and it will be really good to see him next season. I would say he's definitely got the pace of the Alpha Tier, and it'll be good to see him challenging those guys in the Alpha Tier next season.
So just having a look at some of the comments coming through. Oh, as Morris runs wide, and that looks like that was
It's James that went off there, unfortunately.
So I wonder whether that was just a
No,
of a sympathy
that's going to
spin.
put him under pressure now from Mr. Bond and Duncan. These two still having a fantastic battle for 4th position.
Yeah, I think these two are definitely going to start closing down as now Duncan tries to go around the outside of the Ferrari into turn number 2. But the Ferrari will have the better inside line for the braking. But will he now try the little cut back? They're going to be side by side exiting out of turn number 4. A little touch
Duncan
between
just
the two.
getting a bit onto the curve there and getting a bit out of shape, and that's put him into the side of Adrian, but he just hung back a bit there, sort of got his position back.
I see that Brandon Hills, he's just jumped up, and unfortunately the icons that he has posted don't come through on our screen. Just having a look at some of the penalties. Amarius in 2nd place, he's got 1 second, as does James, as well as Colin down in 6th place. I must say Duncan and Adrian definitely having a great battle here. And with 6.5 minutes left to go, will James be able to hang on to that 3rd place? And I'm pretty sure that if Duncan and Adrian have anything to do or say about that, is they're going to be fighting really hard.
Yeah, now that Duncan has managed to get past Adrian, he seems to just pull that gap out a bit and increased his lead over Adrian, and now applying pressure onto James. It looks like he has got past it. I think James has got damage from that little spin.
Yeah, that front bumper definitely looking worse for wear. But now Duncan comes into the braking zone. He is ahead, so I was about to say, if he can just keep that on the track, then he shouldn't have an issue there whatsoever. So now they head into the Villeneuve chicane. A little wide there for all 3 of the drivers, making use of that outside curb. Duncan very, very deep into the corner, and it looks like James is going to be able to get an exit there. But for some reason, Duncan is still able to get that power down and run around the outside. That Porsche is definitely working on that wider outside line through turn number 7.
No, it is definitely. It seems to have a little bit more grip compared to these other guys. I think maybe the tire temperature is dropping a little bit and not finding as much grip as that Porsche. But now Adrian all over the back of James, and he'll be trying to get past for that to get that 4th position back.
But what
you see James go slightly wide there. Yeah.
What I was seeing is that that Duncan is taking not the complete racing line, but with having a little bit more of a defensive line. I think that's just to try and throw off the guys behind him. You can see James right up on the outside curb there. That's very dangerous out there. You can just see touch the curb, little kick of the rear. And Adrian are now trying to get past this Audi. So James just needs to stay on the inside, force the Ferrari to try go around the outside. He's not going to be able to slow down enough there. Or they're going to go too wide, and James a little kick of the rear, and Adrian is able to go around the outside, but now James on the inside, too much curb, and that's unfortunately bounced him into the wall. And here he has now got Colin coming up behind him. And that could be another position that he drops down. And I say that Duncan was going to run wide, but once again, he's actually taken that line. So it looks like that is the line for the Porsche.
Yeah, very interesting line. I don't know if it's maybe because see a bit of lag, but we will drive on board with him just to see. Yeah, using the curve there, using much of the track as possible, and seems to be giving him a good momentum at the moment. And you can see he's closing out down on that second position driver, Marius. Goes a bit wide there. Will he get penalised? Doesn't seem to be any penalty.
Now into turns number 14 out of 15. And there's Mr. Adrian Bond in fourth place, coming down out of the corner along the start finish line. And Mr. Peter Brunt, you can see 146.2. So
wow.
Absolutely a blinding fast time there for him. Just about going 2.5 seconds faster than anybody else on the track currently. And that has just showed his pure dominance in this league for this season. But I must say, this is the last time Peter Brunt's going to be driving in the Bravo tier, so he needs to wake up with some enthusiasm, and welcome to the Alpha tier side.
No, absolutely. He's done super well this season, as well as Marius. I think we'll see him there as well. And maybe even Mr. Cutting Beef himself. He's also done exceptionally well. But it would be nice to see him on the steering wheel. Get rid of that controller.
And actually, I always think about this whenever we do the qualifiers, because now we're looking at Peter Brunt, Marius, Cutting Beef, Adrian. Louis has been able to get that car up, so there's another 5 drivers. But you tell me the 5 drivers from the Alpha tier that should drop down to allow the space for these 5. It's like, how do you do that?
I can think of one, and that's me. Because I don't know if I can keep up with these guys anymore. They're just super quick. And I'm afraid I'm going to need a lot more time behind the steering wheel to be able to contend with these drivers. We even saw last year Brandon Santos. He came from driving on the controller now in Austin the Alpha tier and doing really well with the steering wheel.
It's just his connection has just let him down there. So guys, we are on the final lap here for the second heat of the Bravo tier, and there is your race leader, that is Peter Brunt, going through turn number 7. I say race leader, but as well as the Bravo tier champion.
And I'm just listening to that motor. He's slowing down. That is a slow down lap. I mean, that car is definitely not up to speed. You can see that time between himself and Marius dropping very, very quickly.
Exactly what is going on here. Because Marius needs a few more points just to secure himself on the podium. And I think there has been a PB. Please let Marius through. He is quicker than you.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. Either these guys are going to finish side by side, or we're going to see teams orders here. But definitely that time has dropped. I mean, right down now to 4 seconds.
So I wonder whether Peter Brunt actually knows that we're watching him. And I'm pretty sure he might run out of track without having to come off the throttle completely. Because that is the advantage about driving with a teammate, is that you are able to make strategic decisions.
And there we go. Where are we going to see it?
Yes, he just made it. He just made it. So Marius will come home in first place, with Peter Brunt giving that win to him. Cutting Beef in third, with Adrian Bond in fourth place. An absolute sterling drive there for him. And then we've got in fifth place, Ball Baggins comes home in fifth, with Colin in sixth place. I'm pretty sure that he would be quite happy with that result. Then Yolan in seventh place, with James down in 8th. A little mistake there for him. See him coming through Ravaza, put it on the wall, and unfortunately that was just him starting to drop down. Then a Turbo down in a 9th place, and Dane will cross the line in a 10th position.
So, Dylan, are you excited for your final race this evening?
I am indeed. I am indeed.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a cracker.
So just in terms of the top 3 for the evening, it is actually quite tight, because it's actually a 4-way there, is because we've got Marius who basically wins the day. Peter Brandt comes in second, and we've got tight points there between Duncan and Adrian.
Okay, guys, so the 4 drivers that must please join us in the Discord is Marius, Peter Brandt, Duncan, and Mr. Bond. Well done, guys, that was awesome to watch.
What about that one? What about that one, Duncan?
So welcome, guys, to the commentary box, and I must say, a very interesting race there. Duncan, that first heat for you, absolutely flying there for you in your Porsche. You were able to keep Rudy at bay and take the win. And then a 3rd place for you, which basically gets you right at the top there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that result.
It just went well. That's all I can say. It just did what I asked it to do.
Well, look, it was absolutely fantastic, and that Porsche definitely had the pace. So big congratulations there to you.
Thank you.
Let's go to you, Mr. Bond. A 3rd place for you in the first heat, and a 2nd in a 4th place in the 2nd heat. But pretty sure that you're happy with that result. Some crazy tight racing, and yourself and Duncan changing places for just about the whole 2nd heat there.
Yeah, I know, that was awesome. I was like, I got past, then you guys passed it. It's like, damn it. No, also it was good, it was fun.
Yeah, absolutely, really awesome to see. And I do see that James has joined us. James, a little unfortunate there for you that coming through Ravaza down at the end. It looked like as Duncan, or as Marius was coming around, he looked like he had a little liberty spin there for you, and we saw you up against the barrier. James, you're just on mute, so we can't hear you there.
Second.
There we
So
go.
I'm jumping around here looking like a nana. It was all good fun. I think obviously it was a tough race. I think both stints was tough. But yeah, goods to the Oaks that raced. Came first, second and third. And it's racing incidents, unfortunately. So yeah, but I think it was a good result. You know, both, I think first, well, for me it felt like, you know, at least I could keep the lead, at least for a few laps. So that was an achievement on its own.
No, it was
Especially
absolutely
between
great
these
to
oaks.
see. Yeah. At one stage, you
yeah,
basically
so
had a train from 1st to 7th, and they were all coming for you.
yeah, no, listen, I'm sure I kept up a few. I think they were all in, probably all at their worst lap times. But the principle is, yeah, you know, while I was in front, I was enjoying it. And even while Marius passed me and all the Oaks, I mean, they fast races, so it's definitely enjoyable. And yeah, another pinnacle to a good season on PC2.
Absolutely fantastic. Let's go to you, PB, the fastest for the day, but not some wins. Definitely some team orders coming through there.
I had to help Marius, yeah. I just hope it helped him to get a 2nd place.
I don't know. Did it help or not? Yeah.
It did. We haven't done the final scores, but we definitely will let everybody know, because obviously the top 3 for the season go into that lucky draw to get a ride in that F400 karting series on the 26th of July. COVID restrictions.
You'll have to get a bigger
permitting.
card for Marius.
We'll figure something out. We'll figure something out.
James, sorry about the race. Yes, well, it was a bit lag. But yeah, worth it. Thanks.
Yeah, no, definitely. No stress, no hard feelings. I mean, it was fun. There was a few points where I thought, yeah, especially on that start-finish corner where I came in so hot. But luckily that Audi just clamped brakes, and luckily you saw me, so luckily I didn't touch it. But oh well, it's one of those things. It was a good race and well done.
Thanks. Duncan, thanks to you for a great season as well. We enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go to you, Morris, overall winner for this evening, and we'll just have to check whether you do get yourself up there in terms of that final placement, whether you get yourself on the podium. But a great drive there for you, and the Lamborghini definitely had some pace.
Yeah, no, I was happy with that. I'm glad for Peter that gave me that back. In the beginning of the year, I gave him one, he gave me back, so I think our team strategy worked out good. I think it made plan. But honestly, this year, awesome. I really enjoyed it. First, it didn't go like I wanted. I had a little bit of a tap, start from the back, but I enjoyed chasing down. That was really fun. I really enjoyed that.
No, absolutely fantastic, and a great win there for you, Peter Brunt, the overall champion for the our Bravo tier. And unfortunately, that promotes you straight to Alpha tier for next season, so I hope you're ready to take on that challenge. Looks like
Yeah, now he's frozen suddenly when you have to answer the question.
No, guys, thank you so much. We're going to just make some of the changes now behind the scenes, so myself and Ashley can get into the race, and hopefully you guys jump on the stream.
Thanks.
Thanks so much.
Duncan.
Thanks again, Dylan. Great season. Thanks.
Only a pleasure. Cheers, guys.
Good
Thank you so
man.
much.
Yeah, enjoy.
Yes.
Good luck for your race.
Thank you.
James, you don't want to hang around?
Yeah, we can, thanks.
Oh.
So, Stephen, you're live. Hard lines there, man. 3 wide going down the start-finish line on the stream. Just not enough space for all 3. Yourself and Rudy touched, and then unfortunately Louis was the collateral damage of that.
Yeah, that was just
Absolutely
I don't know
heart-wrenching.
I didn't know what to say about that. Taken out in both races, so yeah, that just wasn't my night. But yeah, we've all said our sorries and carried on. That's what it's all about. Just carry on for the next one, or I should say for the next season.
100%, and that's exactly what is expected, Stephen. Well done. So we're gonna love and leave you. Just gonna make sure that you do have everything that you need. You're in the lobby as race director, is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay, which means I think that they're still waiting for me to join in.
Yes, and Sarge here. Oh no, you got broadcaster. So yeah, so that's all right. So Sarge will just join in Discord.
So once Sarge joins, at least he will be able to see the stream as well.
Yeah. Well, tonight's race is going to be quite interesting, as we saw Bravo put up quite a show and a half there for the viewers.
And let's see if Alpha can do better. Let's see who can get into those slipstreams, because those slipstreams mean a lot. So let's see what the boys are got all in line for us today. So you can hear the guys in the background there, or all big jokes and laughs. Now we'll see when the race starts, because this track is not forgiving. Let's see Alpha can do better. Let's see if we can get into the. And we have Sarge with us tonight.
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you all clearly.
100%. How's it going?
All good, eh? Can't wait to get the Alpha going. As we saw, the Bravo was some tight racing. It's crazy. But yeah, we'd love to see what these Audis and the McLarens. The McLarens are going to be quite quick here, I think. But I think the Audis are going to be even quicker. But that slipstream, it's gone. Yeah. It's not a track for forgiveness. If you're gonna go off, you're gonna go off big.
Yeah, I watched the Bravo race. It was on that main straight 3 wide that can end not so well.
Sods, nothing happened there. We don't talk about that race anymore. It's happened. We move on now.
Okay. Let's concentrate on Alpha.
On Alpha, that is correct.
100%.
So we saw Bravo do a 146.2. So let's be very interesting to see if we're going to break those 145. So 145s are pretty quick here. But already in Bravo with a 146.2, that was flying.
Oh, that is quicker.
Especially down here, like, wow. So yeah, but it's all about that damage. That damage does a lot.
Yeah, makes a big difference.
So we have Quicksilver on pole. So we have 2 Audis in front, 3 Audis. And then we have Marius in 4th. Then Ash in 1st. Gavin in 6th. Jake's in 7th. Phil in 8th. Brandon in 9th. Slapid in 10th. And there we're off. And it looks... Oh, there's a bit of contact there with Marius. But Marius jumps to the front there. What a start. Let's see what all happens there. It looks like Marius. Oh, there's a bit of a contact there at the back. Looks like who is that? There's Brandon. I'm not so sure who's the guy in 4th place. Do we know who's in 4th place? Because if I'm correct, that's Brandon there.
Brandon DeSantos looks like.
Yeah, Brandon DeSantos too. Okay. So it's actually isn't. The guys are quick here tonight. Jeez, everyone's right up there. Oh, Gav right at the back. We should be seeing him fly up to the front. Object in the mirror is also quite quick. We'd love to see what that Bentley does around here. And then we have Terry in the McLaren that is in 11th place. So this is going to be very interesting. And as we can see, the middle of the pack there, from 1st to about, let's say, 10th, all right behind each other. Brandon goes a bit wide there. looks like Jakes is right on top of Ash. Dylan's there, Brandon's there. All looking for that bit of a toe. That toe does a lot. And then this is where our famous corner where 3 wide are going again. Jake's on the grass. Oh. Jake's, a bit of contact with Brandon and Jake's. Whew. That was a bit of a hairy move, that. And Dylan, there goes Brandon off. Oh man, he's just not having it today. So Dylan coming off better than anyone else there right now. So he's in 4th place.
He seemed to have found a bit of a gap there between.
Yeah, I think Jake's actually had a slowdown, or he had to get positions back. One of the two. So yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting to find out what actually happened there. And then we have Vaughan Hill in 6th place. Ash dropping down a little bit into 8th. There was a bit of a lag, that. Quicksilver 1.2 seconds behind Marius. Looks like Marius has got this one quite neatly. But again, don't scratch out that Audi. That Audi is quick. But we all know Marius is even quicker.
Though it might be a short sprint race, anything can happen in 20 minutes.
You've got that correct. It just takes that one little mistake, and that 1.9 seconds becomes a 2nd place. Well, in Quicksilver's view, he'll be in 1st and Morris will be in 2nd. So, yes, the one little mistake like that, then it is quite crazy. Let's see. Sure. It just looks like I'm breaking with Brandon and Hill. Vaughan Hill, I think that is.
Yeah.
Brandon in the pits there, so he's probably had too much damage to carry on. After that spin out, front end damage on these cars is quite crucial. But we see another race going on. Yeah, is Ash and Gav very close behind each other, but is it just me or am I cursing this? I'm just switching to the cars and they are spinning out.
It would seem that way.
Wow.
But I must say, even in the Bravo race, I noticed the Audis seem a bit loose on this track.
It does look a bit loose, hey? Yeah, it's weird. Object in the pit, so he must have been involved in something there. So Dylan looks like he's got a penalty there. I wonder if Jake's just gonna keep behind him, because we're not too sure what the penalty is there. It could be 1-2 seconds. So if he just maintains that gap, Jakes will have that 4th place.
And also with the points being so tight as well, position count in this race.
Definitely. It's not over until the fat lady sings. But it all comes down to that second race. That second race is what it's all about. Morris might be in 1st now, and then you get that reverse 6th grid, and then he's in 6th place. Then we can see where all the men and the boys come together.
Yeah, that reverse grid definitely changes things up.
definitely. But I love it. It's not always the same winner from the first race to the second race. It's always different winners. And if the guy does pull off that win, you know he just had a flawless race.
Definitely.
Picking points. Not much really going on. Looks like Quicksilver and Mole, busy having a nice little dice. So the two Audis are catching up. The Audis do look a bit loose there. And as you see in the back there's Dylan and Jake's following very closely behind each other. So 4, 5, 6 and 7 all have penalties. So this is going to be a game changer. All depending on what is the penalty, they could actually lose that place. So
especially being sort of pretty close together.
Yeah, already it's going to be... I saw one. Looks like Ash was busy catching on to Brandon there. Oh, sorry, Brandon the Santos, I think that was. Guys are pretty much spread out right now. It's pretty clean race. Ooh, they're taking a bit of a curb there. I wonder if he's going to get a penalty for that. But it looks like the race is here with Dylan and Jace right behind each other. Not much going on here right now. It's pretty much of a stalemate.
Yeah, it seems like the guys have sort of settled in a bit and just doing laps.
Yeah, look like all the action happening from lap 2 already. That's when all the carnage started happening.
Yeah.
So then maybe the tires are a bit cold or just a bit too much pressure, couldn't handle it. But these two are having quite a mean little race here. Two teammates actually, the Green Mambas.
It's going to be interesting to see the last couple of minutes of the race to see what happens.
And what actually happens here? So it actually looked like Ash moved up into 7th place. So Brandon the Santos must have did something there. Between from 2nd to 5th is a good little battle going on here. These two fights, they could slow themselves down, and that means Dylan and Jakes will actually catch up and close up to them. Little tricky section this. And there we go. Looks like Jakes did move to 4th, and then Dylan took it back. So those two are having a race all by themselves. No team orders yet tonight. And it looks like Jakes is close by. He's going to make a move. Oh. Getting on the brakes a bit late there. Now it's going a bit wide. I wonder if he's going to get another penalty for that. And hey, Jakes just opens up a little bit and starts catching a mole right now, so it's gonna be quite a close ratio. There's only like 6 minutes 40 seconds left of the race, so if anything's gonna happen, he needs to make sure it happens.
Yeah, especially maybe the Jakes might be a little bit quicker. Maybe we can pull Dylan with him and catch up to.
Yeah, that's also like how much tire weight did he actually use trying to get past Dylan? That's also another key factor. Yeah.
They definitely seem to be closing the gap between.
No, it does. It does look like they are closing a gap there. With Jakes in front and then Dylan just catching a bit of a toe there, so I think that's helping the Green Mambas out there quite a bit. But Morris is all the way in the front all by himself. He's got like a 4.4 second lead over everyone else, so it's pretty much of a lonely race there for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quicksilver, that looks like he's actually pulled away from Mole right now, so also having a bit of a lonely race. Ooh. And Rockstar Mole. So Dylan got another time penalty there for track limits. So it's going to be quite interesting with Vaughan Hill and Dylan. Oh, Jakes just did a mistake there. Just saw the positions just swapped there, so I wonder if he just lost it. I wonder if there was any damage done to the car now. Looks like we lost a few drivers also. Terry and Gavin all gone, so that's a bit of a nasty one.
Yeah, it seems like a couple of.
What do you think of the track, Sarge?
Yeah, it's definitely a tricky track. But yeah, I do quite enjoy it.
Yeah, it is a bit of a tricky track. especially with the cars on default setup.
Yeah.
I think it
I was
just
gonna
just
say that.
shows just little spanner in the works there. The cars are pretty much the same for everyone else. I think it's more, what do you prefer to drive?
Yeah. So especially with the default setup, it comes down to preference on what car.
Yeah.
rather than
Well,
setup.
which we saw the Ferraris dominated in Bravo, but in the Alpha you can't really say which car is really dominated. Probably the cars that have been up in the front has been the Audis. So we haven't seen any McLarens in the Bravo. We haven't seen any Ferraris in the Alpha. So yeah, well, I think we would have loved to see a Ferrari in the Alpha to actually see how the Ferraris would have performed.
Yeah, it would have been interesting. But Marius in that Cadillac is definitely
Yeah, no, definitely. He's just pulled out like a 6-second gap to Quicksilver, so he just needs to calm down, bring it home, and point it in the bag. Because he has also had not the greatest seasons with all the accidents and the random starts, no qualifyings, which has also been a little bit of a different formation to us, where we all used to qualify and then race from there. So this it's been something to adjust to, because I think it's just your luck where you land up.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't think we've seen Brandon DeSantos much this season. I think he's also had a bit of issues with his internet, but he's also been one of the quick drivers here.
Yeah, he has been, but I think it's he's struggling with his internet.
Yeah. But it looks like tonight he's got his internet pretty sorted. Just unlucky with a few incidents that happened. Brandon, well, we all saw he had to go into the pits, so he's laying in 9th place with Object in a mirror. Also not having a great evening tonight. Obaim learns himself here at the back. Ooh. Looks like we just lost Object. Oh, Brandon retired. Object retired. And looks like we're busy missing a bit of a race here. Yeah, because it looks like Dylan has caught up to Rockstar Mall now. So I wonder if Rockstar Mall did a bit of a mistake, or did actually Dylan catch up? Because I think this is actually final lap. Yo. So I wonder if he's got a bit of damage, because
must be finished.
Yeah, I think so too. Because Dylan is all over that Audi. Jeez. So Dylan loses that 4th place with his time penalties, which drops him down to 5th place. Warney about to cross the line, so we will see. I think he'll keep his 6th place because we have Ash that is about just crossing our line. So Ash in 7th, then Brandon in 8th. I wonder if he's going to have enough time. It looks like he's lost it a bit there, or I wonder if that's still from the incident that he had. He's got 40 seconds across the line. He should make it. Last car to make it.
He's cutting a bit fine, but he's gonna make it.
Yeah. And there we go.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to the other guys. Must have been disconnects or the guys retire or
DQ. Gavin got a DQ.
Oh, no. How did he get a DQ?
I wonder. I'm not too sure. The only way you get a DQ is going into the pits. So I wonder if he went into the pits just a little bit too quick. Sly pit. He retired on lap 1. So and Terry retired on lap 5. That's a bit of a bummer there. But as you see there, 5-second penalty for Warney and a 5-second for Dylan. Jeez.
I must have cut a few corners there.
Yeah, but as we see, those times are quite close there. 46-0, 46-0, 46-0. Jeez. Some quick times there.
Oh, foot spotted. Oh. Play safe.
Like my Jakes. That was like.
Well, this is going to be quite interesting to see the second round. Wow, man. If it was anything like the first race, yeah, it's going to be quite interesting, this.
I kept running wide off that flipping last curve.
Yeah, I'm
just give me 1 second.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Every lap, same thing. Last one. Last one.
Yes, Sean, can we not again? You gave me a fight because you were just stopped in the middle of the road. And all of a sudden you come past.
Ek het 'n cool start gehad. Yes. Ek dink jy het op jou koeltjie gaan sit. Ek sê goed vir die klas. So that was a moose start.
Well, like we've been saying, now we're going to see how Morris performs, because now he's going to be in 6th place. So we are going to see if he's going to be quick enough to grab another one, or is he going to trail behind and fight for position, or what's going to happen? This is where we see the boys from the men, or the men from the boys. Oh, so the points are that close. Who are the two in first and second?
Brandon Skills.
Yeah, okay. Coming down. Do you know your positions?
Brandon Skills. Man. So the time points. So it all depends on where Brando is gonna finish in his next round. Because Brandon, I think, actually retired. Oh no, Brandon finished his race. He finished his race in 8th place. Yes, that is correct. And then we had Jake's finish in 4th. So this is going to be very interesting to see who's going to take the championship. It comes down to the last race.
And now also with the reverse good Jake start. Third.
Yeah, because he finished 4th. So yes, he's third on the grid.
Gonna be a good race.
And then Brandon's in 8th, so he's got a bit of work to do.
Yeah.
So everything to play for.
Yep.
But again, we never know what happens into that turn 1. Those first 2 laps, as we've seen, that's where all the carnage starts happening. Lap 2, lap 3, that's where all the action starts happening. So we're gonna have to wait and see what actually happens. Does Jake get that crucial mistake, hand Brandon the championship, or does Brandon do the mistake and hand Jake's the championship? So it's a big tussle, yeah. Who's gonna do what and who's gonna finish where?
Yeah, I reckon it's gonna be a nail-biter.
Oh yes, definitely. To watch those final places. The guys are all in formation right now, so they have to see what is going to be happening here. So Quicksilver finished 2nd, so he's in 5th place. Some of the guys are complaining about lag, so I wonder if there's a problem with the internet or what. But the guys are battling for the last race. Vaughan Hill in pole position, leading the pack of wolves. Which we have Dylan and Jakes. Jakes has to do that all over again, fighting for how many laps just to get in front of Dylan. He too, a repeat. And then we have Rockstar Mall in 4th, Quicksilver in 5th. Then Marius, who won our first heat, he's in 6th place. So this is going to be very interesting to see what is going to happen here.
Sorry, Stephen, if I'm a bit quiet, I'm just busy updating the points quickly.
No, not a problem. We're just waiting for the guys to get ready because they are coming down the main straight, so they are going to start bunching up very soon, waiting for Vaughan Hill to give the green light, and then we are back to racing. So everyone is nicely spread out. And it looks like we have a green light. Holding until the line, and there Vaughan gets a nice little start there. Pulling right behind him, Jakes. Morris, no, looks like he was sleeping a little bit there because it looks like Ash is all over the back of Marius. So going to be very interesting to see what that McLaren can do, and can Morris pull off a second win here? Ooh. What happened to Ray? Because now all of a sudden we have Dylan in the lead, Jake's in second. So I must have missed something there, because Mr. Vaughan himself is now in 13th place. I missed something there. Probably braked himself, went straight into the kitty litter. And it looks like there Morris has got the run on Quicksilver. But Quicksilver still got the inside line, so yeah, they're just gonna hang back, wait for his time, and then Morris has got the run on Quicksilver. Cleanly done, but Ash right there, and then Brandon all over. Oh, 3 wide contact. Oh, that is so heartbreaking. That we saw that carnage was gonna happen there. What happened in Bravo Heat 1 just happened in Alpha Heat 2. That is not what we wanted to see. Now that drops Quicksilver. Oh, he's out. Brandon and Gavin losing out there. And we have Terry in 9th place. But the race is, yeah, this is between Morris, Rockstar Mole, which is all over the back of Jake's there. Oh, jeez, that was super close. Rockstar Mall looked like he had a better exit out of the corner. And Jake's is battling a little bit. But Morris just hanging back. Because those 3 fighting for first place just means that Morris is going to be up there very soon. He's only 2.1 seconds behind all of this. Battling for first, second. Everyone wants to be in front, and it looked like we had a bit of a move there on Ash and Brandon. Going to be an interesting one to see where Brandon actually finishes. But if Jakes finishes well where he does, I think Jakes is taking the championship, if I'm correct. Because if they are tied on points, Ash just outbreaking himself.
Yeah, I think as they stand now in the race, Jakes will have the bag.
Yeah, Jakes will take it, no problem. We have a little race here. A 3-way race right now is Object, Ash and Brandon. Brandon skills. Having a better run in Heat 2. He's still got a bit of a work to do. He's 7.2 seconds behind Marius. But the race right now is all year. With Jake's Rockstar Mole, and looks like Morris is closing up there. It looked like he was closing up because now he's 2.4 seconds behind everyone. And he's got another time penalty. So, yeah, he's going to see what his time penalties are going to be like. Because, as we saw here, 5-second penalties in the Heat 1. So, yeah, he can't have too many of those, else he's going to lose out on his first place. So right now it's a 4-way race right now. With Dylan leading the pack, Jakes in second, Rockstar Mall in third, Morris in fourth, and Brandon is 8.2 seconds behind all of this. It looks like we have another race happening here at the back. Here's Object and Brandon. Brandon's slipping nice and he's going a little bit wide there, so I wonder if he's going to get a time penalty for that. I think that wrestling with that Bentley. Brandon and Ash having a good little battle here for 5th place. Where Ash out-braked himself into turn 1. So let's see if we can get it back, because he's now got a slipstream, so he should be able to catch up to Brandon. It would be actually very nice to see what this McLaren is going to actually do, but it doesn't look like it's got the horsepower that the Audi has. But we just seen Morris moving to 3rd place. So I wonder if Rockstar Mall did a bit of a mistake, because it looks like he's got a time penalty. So I wonder if we went a bit wide on the track limits a little bit. Try to slow down so he wouldn't get the penalty and forfeit his 3rd place. But now we have Morris chasing down Jakes. These two are two big rivals in racing histories. Great friends, got lots of respect for each other. But when it comes to racing, these two push each other to the limits. As you can see, Morris throwing that car around there, trying to get every little speed out of that car. And look like Morris trying to go around the outside. No, backing out for a little bit. Right now we have Dylan just under a second there, so this race is not over. There's still 7 and 49 minutes to go. So this is going to be a race and a half.
Stephen, I sent you a quick snapshot of the points there in the admin.
Oh, okay.
See how close it is.
Jeez, yeah. Yeah, I'll go take a look at that now. And it's quite crazy. Now Brandon is now in 5th, chasing down Rockstar Mall, which I don't see Rockstar Mall falling in that 5th place. So right now we have Morris and Jakes busy fighting for 2nd, and they're just keeping dull there in Predator view, so they can all chase him down right now, but I think that these two are busy slaying each other down. I wonder if we'll see Rockstar Mall catch up here and give his 2 cents in this as well. It looks like Terry and Gab were actually having a bit of a race here. Gab not having his night tonight. All the way down into 9th place. I mean, Objects in the Mirror having a race all by himself. I think he's been battling with his Bentley tonight. Don't think if he could have changed cars, he would have changed cars. Ooh, bit of a snap of the rear of that Bentley.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be liking this track that much.
No, and I think with the temperature also dropping, so the guys are busy losing rear end traction.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a nightmare to drive right now. I think if there was a bit of a setup, this Bentley would have been another machine to drive. But with a bit of a default setup, yes, it's a bit of a handful. These two, yeah, still at each other for 6th place. Sorry, 5th place. And Brandon DeSantos actually catching up there. With these two fighting it out, just means Brandon is getting that much closer to 6th and 5th right now. Right now, the race to be watching is here. Jason Morris and Dylan. Who's gonna win the race? There's still 4 minutes left of racing. So this is gonna be a nail biting. Does Morris wait until that last lap? Then make a lunge on Jakes, or is Jakes gonna wait until the last lap to make a lunge on Dylan? So that's gonna be a nail biter there. But like we say, where Jakes finishes right now, he's got the title in his hand. So as long as he keeps Brandon behind him, he's won it. But it's not over until the fat lady sings. No. He could do that crucial little mistake, you could drop him all the way to the back, and that is the last thing we want to see.
Yeah. It's gonna be exciting last few laps, that's for sure.
Oh man, tell me about it. I think it's gonna be like probably another 2 more laps. Oh, Morris all over Jakes. Jake's going very defensively. Jake's having a bit of line there. Going a little bit deep. But keeping Morris behind him. So this, like I said, these two are going to be at each other for the next 2.5 minutes. It is going to be crazy racing. Exactly. Jakes has got a bit of a gap after that through the S's there. And then Morris just comes back with a bit of a lunge there. Looks like he's got this sector nailed with the car. Because this is where he just catches Jakes and he's got that slipstream. Is he going to have enough this time? I think he's a bit far back.
close.
No.
Although,
Jackson Morris are added. Oh, going in a little bit deep. Morris all over Jakes. You hold your breath when he goes into that corner because you don't want them to make contact.
yeah.
It's like I'm sitting behind. I'm already pushing brakes for them.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened there?
Oh no!
What happened there?
Seems like they're disconnected.
It looks like it.
Oh, right.
That is gonna be a sad one. Jakes and Morris getting disconnected. Oh man. Which actually means now Brandon is now in third. So with Jakes now being disconnected, that means now Brandon is gonna win the championship.
Yep.
Man.
Bit of unfortunate circumstances there. But
Yeah, that's online racing for you, ladies and gents. You cannot predict who's going to win because we have a wonderful internet that will come and bite you in the rear end.
Yep. Anytime.
And it doesn't matter what you have. You have fiber, LTE, it is all down there. Wow, man.
That is
Man, that is so sad to see Jakes and Morris because those two were having a race and a half. I would have loved to see the end of that race.
Yeah.
Wow. This looks like tonight wasn't a night for the internet gods.
Nah, not so much, huh? Seems like a few disconnects coming.
Do we have the top 3 for interview? Because right now I think it's going to be Dylan, Rockstar, and Ash, if I'm correct.
Brandon.
Brandon.
Yeah, but Brandon finished 8th in the first race.
Are you talking about points wise?
So I think Ash has got position over Brandon. Or they could be tied. So it could be a 4 shoot there. So yeah, so that's so. Do we have a tally up there, Sarge?
Just busy with it quickly.
Okay. Man. Okay, looks like I have the blue button to go back to the lobby. Brandy's finished. So.
On the last. Yeah. That's so much damage, man. He looked like he's happy.
Okay.
What a crazy cheese.
Okay, Stephen, can you hear me?
No, they went on it.
I can hear you very clearly, though.
So, guys, welcome back. I must say that the chat on the stream went absolutely ballistic. So, thank you everybody for your support there. Just going to run through some of those while we just wait for some of the top 3 for the evening to get in. Peter Heidemann saying, I got rolled. Adrian Bond saying, war. Jared Ray saying, track number again. Jared, this is Imola. MD Bester, he jumped in the house here saying Brandon Howe is born in front of you. Interesting. He's the fastest heels on the planet. Adrian Bond throwing some flags there. And James van der Merwe saying, go Dill Honda NSX. Travis Bassan saying, fastest heels alive. Brandon DeSantos, DC again. Marius, DC. Man, oh man, what a crazy battle. I was just could not get myself away from Marius and Jakes. I'd make a little mistake and the two of them would be right back there. And that flippin' last corner.
They were just waiting for you. They were waiting for you. If you did that major mistake where you had to slam on brakes, they would have eaten you alive.
Well,
because
if they had not disconnected, I would have finished third. Because of my time penalties. So
yeah, because how many time penalties did you have in that one?
I had 4. One less than I did the last time round.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Nothing to be proud of, by the way.
Hey. So Sarge, what did you think about that race?
Yo, man, it was really some good racing. It's just such a pity about the disconnects.
Man,
yeah, so
tell me about it.
I must say to Jakes and Marius, man, oh man, the battle that those two were having.
We have Dylan frozen.
I'm not frozen, I'm still here.
Okay.
The battle between Jakes and Marius, that time did not leave a second. It was absolutely incredible.
Man, those two, like I said, those two are the biggest rivals here in SARCO. Have so much respect for each other, and they will push each other to the limits. Where Morris was all over Jakes, and then Morris would do a little mistake, and then Jakes would just pull a gas, and then it comes down to that third last corner, and it just looks like Morris had those 3 last corners perfectly, because that's where he caught him every time. It was quite crazy, I must say.
Yeah, absolutely thoroughly enjoy that. So, Sarge, do we have a tally of who the top 3 were?
Yes, we do. We have, can I call it out?
Go for it. Stephen, I don't know if you have access to the Discord chat, just to drop that in.
Okay.
We have Brando Skills in first place.
Brandon Skills.
Jake
Okay.
in second. And then, won't believe it, but we have Dylan in third.
Dylan in third. Jeez. So it's Brandon Skills and
Jakes
and
Dylan.
Dylan.
The second,
Sure.
third. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, Brandon finished on 272 points, Jake's on 251, and Dylan, you went up to 207.
But how's that possible? How did I beat Morris? Oh, because he didn't get results now.
Yeah.
Oh. And the top 3 for this evening?
There we go.
You finished in first, and it was Rockstar, and then Brandon in third in the race.
Okay, so just drop Brandon Rockstar for a message to come and join us for a chat. So guys, just remember that we will be doing the final points, and that is across both the ACC as well as the Alpha and Bravo tier. And we will do a live draw of who the top 3 are that are going to be racing in the Invitational, which is the Deliver Your Parcel / SARCO Invitational team on the 26th of July. Obviously, COVID restrictions pending. What a crazy season. I would have thought that Ash would have come and jumped in here with us as well. So Stephen, the message sent to our to our Oaks
Yeah, message been sent. So just waiting for the guys to pop online.
Right, guys, while we do wait for that, here is a quick message from our sponsor. I missed the button.
Oh, jeez. It's Monday.
Brandon.
Away.
Away, Masacanas. Away.
Okay. What's going down?
So, Brandon, you land up. Was that Stephen? Did Brandon win the day?
Sarge. Sarge?
Sorry, what?
Who was the one of the
Was
day?
Brandon third overall for the day?
No, Brandon won.
Couldn't have been. I finished 8th and 3rd.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was going to.
Unless like everyone disconnected, which did happen. So
Yeah, that was a bit of a nasty one there. Jeez.
yeah, it was. Like it.
But there's we can't do much about that. That's what happens with online racing.
So, Brandon, what we can tell you is that just in terms of the final championship points with Jake's disconnection, it has put you up at the top.
Yeah, which yeah, I would like to put up a bit of a fight tonight, but I guess we didn't. The first race, I think you were behind us, Dill. We went 3x3 down that main straight in lap 1, and that normally ends up in chaos. Yeah, that normally ends up in chaos. So that's what happened again. I mean, you got to go for it. It's not like no one was going to back out, and we obviously touched it. And yeah, that was race over. I mean, I think I had like 40 damage in the front and 20 engine damage. So I just circulated to try and finish. And I had to do a drive-through. But anyway.
Jeez.
And then yeah, heat 2 was almost the same. I mean, I think I was coming around Solash and we touched someone, both of us basically, and then it was also a bit of damage. And it's just how this game is. Got to take it and go with it.
Yeah, well, basically, same as me is that I got such a great start into the second heat following Vaughan, goes into turn 2, and their car just rotated and just opened the field for me, and I'm like, thanks Vaughan, I'll take that.
And I saw you got like 5 seconds of 1 second penalties there at the end, towards the end.
Again, yes, I got 4. That last corner absolutely killed me. I just could not tighten up enough. It just kept understeering, and I couldn't fix it. Then,
So we called Dylan the penalty master.
That's fine. I got myself on the podium this evening. Guys, I'm not too sure where Ashley is, but guys, we will be going on a 2-week break. We will be racing again in the next 3 weeks, but I must say that to the admin team behind the scenes, absolutely fantastic guys. To all of you that have helped out throughout the season, Sarge being in charge with our, I don't even know that round, being in charge of the points. And still taking on the backup commentator. Really appreciate the effort there. Not too sure where Ashley is. I thought he would have jumped in here, but he is not here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure where he is.
Big thank you to Ashley, obviously, and NASCOM, the sponsor of our SARCO website. Guys, when we do come back, we will have some more merchandise up and running, ready for the second half of the year. So we hope that you look out for that. www.soccerracing.co.za is where you'll find more information. The website will be updated in the next 2 weeks or so. We did run a little 5x5, so we kind of have an idea of what we're going to be racing. But we'll definitely have to wait and see what pans out. To Deliver Your Parcel, thank you very much for putting up that prize, getting 3 drivers to come and join us in an invitational team. So we'll have the Racing Butts, I'm pretty sure will be there, the Wolford Racing Team, the SARCO, Deliver Your Parcel, and the Invitational Butts. Not to forget the Blazing Fun Times Junior.
Oh, jeez.
So I think that's it, and I always hate closing off a season, but guys, it's been absolutely fantastic. Just check out our live stream on Thursday, where we'll be doing the roundup of the points and doing the live draw, so we know who's going to be participating in that karting event. So to all the winners, congratulations, and I must say that without the drivers, this whole community is not possible. So thank you for the continuous support, and we're really looking forward to seeing you next season. To the new guys that have joined us, at least you now get a little taste of the rest of your life, and we can't wait to see you starting up in the new season. So guys, all I can say is to Stephen, thank you very much. To Sarge, thank you. Guys,
Anytime.
Keep practicing, keep racing. And before I do my close off and miss the button, let me do this. So guys, until then, keep racing, and thanks for watching. Yos.
Cheers, boys.